Guys, so memories are extremely powerful. I think most of us, if you're watching, you look at memories, especially if they're positive ones, as something to relive on because it was just such a great time. You want to just reimagine that experience because it makes you feel good, right? Or we have like negative memories where ideally we don't want to be thinking about, but because it bothers us, it just pops up in our head randomly and we're trying to just forget about it. Well, I'm going to talk to you guys today about how you can leverage both positive and negative memories to enhance your life. And real quick, I'm going to put the fan on. It's hot in my room. One sec. I put the heater on and it's a little too hot right now, but whatever. But yeah, how can you leverage these memories to benefit and enhance your life? And I found this and I do this and I've noticed how much it's helped me. So I'm going to break it down to you guys on how this works. So the reason why, one aspect why we have memories is because, especially vivid ones, is because of the emotional response that we felt during a given experience. And I know that sounds very fancy the way I'm phrasing this, but to give an example, let's say you have a positive memory. You went on vacation with your friends and you just had a blast. The whole time you felt happy. You're just in a positive state of mind the entire trip, and months go by, maybe even years go by, and you just vividly remembered that trip. And the reason why that's happening is because of the emotional response that you felt. The same thing, not unfortunately, really, but the same thing happens with negative memories, right? Because you felt upset, maybe someone hurt you, maybe someone stabbed you in the back, there's traumatic experiences that you've had in your life where maybe your girlfriend cheated on you and you're just never gonna forget that, or you hurt someone badly, someone that you loved and you messed up, but you can't rekindle that relationship. You'll never forget that, right? So instead of looking at those memories as bad, right? And I'll start with negative memories first because I think that's the one that people just try to, as humans, we just try to forget about because it hurts so much. But there's a benefit to it. So if you're able to understand that when that memory happens, okay, I want you to relive it. I want you to think about a memory that you have that's negative, that has just always sat with you and you've tried to bury it. I want you to relive it, and I want you to imagine yourself from a third person perspective of that situation. So it's literally you're thinking about that memory in your head and you're seeing yourself from a camera lens essentially. And you're just looking and seeing how this is playing out. And depending on what the experience is, maybe that negative experience happened because of you. I gave the example just now of you hurt someone close to you and you can't rekindle the relationship, right? Or somebody hurt you, right? But you put yourself in that position to be hurt. So it's important now to understand that regardless of how this negative memory comes about, relive that moment and really analyze what could you do moving forward to not have this experience happen again. And that's the key, right? We want to make sure that we genuinely understand why we even felt that emotion in the first place, whether it was because of us or someone else that made us feel that way, and how can we improve for the future. And you can even improve when it's someone else's fault too, because what you could do is just stay away from that person or stay away from people that are like that, because now you have an understanding of someone possibly of you get a feel for how they are character-wise, and people that you meet in the future, if you sense that same energy, you now know that you should not be hanging around with those kind of people. If it's something that was in your control and you hurt someone, understand you hurt someone's feelings, or you lost a relationship with someone you cared about, understand why that happened. What did you do? What did you say that really hurt someone? Now, this negative experience actually becomes a positive experience because you have the understanding of, okay, you know what? I went through this scenario and probably you were supposed to go through it. As much as that hurts sometimes to hear, it's that happened for a reason. Now moving forward, I can live with knowing why that happened, and I can grow as a person, and I won't allow this to happen again in the future. Okay? Now you've conquered that memory. You probably won't even think about it anymore now because it's not bothering you. As long as you make sure that you do something about it though, right? That's the only way you're gonna forget about that negative memory and have it make you feel in a negative state of mind. So that's one form of how you can leverage memories. And now positive memories, right? Like these are, it's easy to say, but you can leverage this in a different manner. So I give the example, if you're going on vacation, you're having a great time, right? It could really be anything. I'm just giving that example because I just went on vacation for my birthday a few weeks back, and I just had a great time, and I vividly remember a lot of that trip. But sometimes what we don't understand is we know we need to do something that we need to do something that we don't feel like doing, but we know if we do it, it will make us feel better. So a classic example I could say is just going to the gym, right? Like sometimes I don't want to go to the gym. Like I'm lazy, I'm not feeling it. And you probably are the same way. But you know that if you go to the gym, like you never go to the gym and think like that was a bad idea, right? Like that never happens. So how can we get into an emotional state that allows us to feel like doing something we don't want to do, like for example, going to the gym? And this is what positive memories help us with. And it's very interesting, right? Like it's the same concept as negative emotions, where you should relive a moment that puts you into that mental frame. So in this case with the gym, right? You want to relive a gym experience that you've had that you remember, maybe the drive to the gym or what was going on in your life at the time, and you're reliving that experience from your perspective this time, by the way, right? I want to make sure I clarify that. This is important to have it from your perspective and understand why did I feel that? Like what was giving me that emotional, that dopamine that was rushing through my body, right? Like what triggered that? I guarantee you, if you analyze this, and you can even close your eyes and do this, by the way. I do this sometimes. And I notice that all of a sudden I'm getting this like flow, this energy through my body. Sometimes it's literally just from listening to a song. You know, it's not even anything that's too crazy. It's just like, maybe there's this one song that I know I listen to when I go to the gym. It's 5 a.m. in Toronto by Drake, that every time I'm just not in the mood, I know if I listen to that song, I'm gonna be in the mood automatically. Like it's just bound to happen. So whatever that is for you, leverage those moments. Think about the things that actually trigger you to feel that positive, state, to be able to do what you need to do, right? And I'm giving an example with the gym, but this can literally be anything you want to do, because like anything you want to do in life, I think it's important to mirror the thing you need to do with the memory. Let me rephrase that actually. The memory that you should just kind of pull out of a bag or invoke should be a memory that's related to the thing that you want to do or need to do, right? So I'm saying with a gym memory, like get yourself a gym memory in order when you're going to the gym, if you're not feeling like going to the gym, right? If I'm doing some deep work, right? Like there's sometimes I'm like, man, I gotta get in the flow. I gotta get into that state of mind, but I'm not feeling it. I'll think about an experience that I had when I was just in a flow state with my work. And I just try to relive that through my lens, through my eyes. And typically that'll help me get in that state of mind. And the key really with positive emotions is the ability to understand that you will be a lot more focused when you are in a positive state or flow, in a sense, right? Like when you don't feel like doing something that you know you need to do, there's a little bit of resistance, right? Like mentally, where your mind is like, nah, I don't really want to do this, until you kind of just sit there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And like you'll be fine eventually. But if you want to just invoke that right away, at any given moment, following this sort of thought, or this I don't even want to call it a technique, but just this thought provoking kind of way, will help you. Seriously, like I literally do this on a daily basis because it's hard, man. We got a lot of things going on in our lives. There's a lot of things that we know we're supposed to do, but we don't want to do it. And mainly it's because we're just not in the right emotional state for it. So if we can invoke that when it comes to positive emotions and then just like memories, right? Like if we can use memories for a benefit, then, you know, life is going to be a lot easier. And then, yeah, like I mentioned with negative memories, like how you can leverage that. And this will make you a better person, because I already talked about why with negative memories, but with positive memories, like you're just able to accomplish more. So because you're accomplishing more, you're getting more work done, you feel better about yourself, you're growing as a person. It just all aligns. So, and this is how pioneers think, by the way, you know, before I forget to mention that. You know, puppets are the ones that just kind of allow their emotions to dictate what they do on a daily basis or on a given basis. And they just kind of feed into that emotion, and they just let things ride out. Like, oh, if I don't feel like going to the gym, I'm just not going to go to the gym. Oh, I don't have to do work, but I don't feel like doing work, so I'm just not going to do work. Right? Like, that's not how you want to live. You want to think like a pioneer. And if you guys want to understand how I learned techniques like such, with understanding how to leverage memories and just understand your emotions and just get into a mental state that you want to be in, you should check out my 7-day newsletter. It's in the description below. I have it pinned as a comment as well. It's just something I've tested on myself in the last little over a year at this point now, on how I was able to go from a puppet mindset to a pioneer. And it's self-tested, it works. I've been living it most of this year now. So if you want to check that out, it's free. I would love that. So, but that is today's video. If you guys like this video, let me know in the comments below what you think about how you can leverage memories to enhance your life. Share this with a friend that needs to hear this, that's having a hard time just understanding how they can use memories, and maybe they're going through a hard time. Maybe it's a breakup, maybe it's, you know, they lost their job, whatever the case may be. Or they're just distracted from thinking about like when they had a good time on vacation or they had a fun experience. You want to stay in the middle, right? So you want to stay here. You want to stay here in the middle as much as possible. Be calm, understand why you feel the way you feel, to be able to propel yourself forward. So I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel as well. I'm all about bulletproofing your mind to maximize what life has to offer you. And leveraging memories to your benefit is part of bulletproofing your mind and maximizing it. So might as well do it, right? So appreciate you guys all watching. I'll see you in the next one.